Hi y'all, my name is Braden. I am locally involved here in Colorado and for the last few months been gathering petitions for the graduated income tax. I have a number of friends who are helping with this final push. We have till August 2nd to get these signatures in. And so I thought I might share some of what I've learned and some frequently asked questions so that others can hit the ball rolling. That's a phrase? That might be a phrase. Graduated income tax is a bracketed tax system, and we're proposing we move from a flat state income tax to this bracketed structure. How it's set up, most people will see their taxes go down or stay the same, and only those who make over $500,000 a year will see a tax increase. On the petition itself, it has a helpful graph or chart. And so if people have asked you or say they may have signed it already, or which petition is this, you can say it's the only one with the chart about income and how it changes in the top right. When people come over, you can tell them they can read the language. There's some language there that starts off about where the money goes. The money has to go into a bucket that has to be spent on healthcare, education, and childcare. Depending on who I'm talking to, I might change the order of that. If I see someone with kids, I might lead with the education, childcare, and then healthcare part. But more or less, that is what happens with this ballot petition. And so another way I sometimes introduce it is helping support education, healthcare, and childcare by raising taxes on millionaires. Again, we're just getting signatures from Colorado voters from across the state. We need different signatures in different areas. 2% of all the different Senate districts. And so we're slowly but surely completing certain areas, getting enough signatures, and moving attention to areas that are left. So some of these areas might be more conservative, so you could try a different pitch. One like to use is collecting signatures to lower taxes for everyone who makes under 500,000, and see if that lead kind of works. Sometimes collecting signatures to raise taxes on millionaires and lower taxes for everyone else. But again, some people in conservative areas might be for the flat tax, might be for millionaires holding on to their money. But a lot of people you can get, they understand education, they understand childcare. Childcare for a kid can be 20 to 30K a year. And if you have multiple kids, it's become this thing that potentially if we support at the statewide level, there are some levels of efficiency and just being able to help people by providing more services. But I like leading more so with pitches that call out what the policy changes. Biggest potential question or pushback is just against taxes in general. Some people are rude and will call wanting to tax a few extra percentages. All types of awful things, but just don't engage, let them continue on their day, keep up pitching people. There's a lot of people there that, as long as they're not in a hurry, are willing to stop, listen. Maybe they know what a graduated income tax is, maybe they don't, but I like to use a line to catch their attention, tell them more about what's going on, and then following their signing process. As they get past their name and their signature, they often go onto their street address. And as they're doing that, sometimes I'm talking about the initiative, but as they get closer to city and county, I tell them no abbreviations on city and county because we want to make sure all of these count. And then people sometimes don't know what the date is, so be ready with the date. Any other things? The percentages themselves, there is a chart that you could print out to have with you. I think most people are fine looking at the number, the income chart that's on the petition itself, and the net change are the two columns I like to point out, and how even for millionaires, and $1 million plus businesses, that it's really not like the largest of tax increases for stuff that becomes community good and helps bring local money and investment. Teachers, additional Medicaid, daycare services, after school programs. These are all things that both put money and positive energy and learning back into our communities. It is also what I point towards where, of like, will some companies just leave then? Some companies might, but what they get back for their employees, if they are truly invested locally, it pays dividends back to both their employees and other services, especially those who are starting families, as well as like public good, jobs, like, etc. And additionally, I try to circle it back to, this is just to get on the ballot. Overall, though, I think people are mostly kind. I like to petition gather outside libraries. In some areas, depending on the time of day, gyms or rec centers can be decent. Though some rec centers, if they own the parking lot itself, and the entrance, can be hard to petition gather at. Community centers, like downtown areas, even of some of the smaller suburbs in cities, can have in the evenings or on the weekends, people going to and fro. Grocery stores. I do think there is a little bit of petition fatigue being near the end of the petition season. A mentor at one point shared that they'll sometimes throw down smoke bombs, which are ways to try to get out of the interaction. Some of them are very real, like they're in a hurry. Some of them have a kid who's having a temper tantrum. And so there's definitely this line of like what is polite, which might be more prying or pressuring. I like to tell people if they're in a hurry that it only takes about 30 seconds to sign. But overall, be kind and understanding. Be ready to pitch the next person. Be ready to shrug things off. We want to build relationships with the people. We don't want to make them upset. We still have to get this passed later in the year. And I hope this is helpful. Good luck out there. And let's get this on the ballot in November by getting signatures before August 2nd. Thank y'all for anyone doing this. This helps out so many of us here in Colorado, brings back needed investment. And thank you. Good luck out there.